what that song was. That song's called Everything by Lifehouse. To be honest, none of us knew that song really existed until Linda showed us the skit online. Well, I talked to a couple of these guys, Jen, Frank, pretty much all of them. First thing that they said when they finished it was the fact that they had goosebumps run up their spine, all over their arms, everything, because they hit us so hard. Well, what I'm wanting to say is, these things that you just saw right now, we see every single day. And first I have to say thank you to Autumm and Dylan in the back. Well, literally we all see these things every single day. I deal with alcoholism. Pat and I have had a best friend who is addicted to both drugs and alcohol. We've all been affected by depression, suicide, cutting, drugs, you name it, we've probably been it. I've got the scars to prove it. Well, I've been asked many times why we cannot get more youth here. Fact is, we're trying to deal with all these things that you've just seen and trying to bring more people in. It's really a tough job. If you haven't experienced it, I'm sorry, really. I don't want this anymore. My voice carries over just fine. I don't really know much more to say than the fact that we've all tried our hardest. We've all tried to bring people here. We've all tried so much to let people know about Jesus, about how much he loves us and how much we really love him back. These things do weigh you down. Like I said, we all have the scars to prove it. Every one of us, either emotionally or physically. I don't really know much more to say than we're trying. We're trying to bring people in.
I love Jesus. Who else does? As you saw from this skit, we go through so many temptations every day. Lust, death, body image, drugs, alcohol. But yet, with Jesus, when we have him by our side, we can get through anything. They attack us every single day. We just have to keep fighting every day, because Jesus will always be there by our side. He won't let us give up. He'll always find a way. He's always in our hearts. It may seem like even through all those things, he's not with us. But that's not true. He's never left us. He's always with us. He loves us. And there's no greater love than that. Like Sam said, we do face these temptations. I've faced some of them, not all of them. I have faced some. I know they can be very hard to overcome. I mean, there's just times where I feel so down from all these things, and I'm like, how will I ever get out of this hole? It's just so deep, and it just seems like it's getting deeper and deeper, and I just can't fight my way out of it. But yet, I read my Bible. I see the words that Jesus said, and God, I just think to myself, I can't get out of this. Jesus is with me. He loves me. There's nothing greater than that. That's all I have.
Amen. Amen.
Like Sam and Frank have said, we face these temptations every day of our lives. I've gone to parties where my friends have been drinking, and they've asked me for a drink. And I've said no, because I know that God is on my side. And I know that if God would to see me do this, how upset he would be. But one thing I always remember through everything is that God forgives. But even though he forgives, that doesn't mean that I have to do this. I love God so much. We all do. Every time I've watched this skit, anybody do it, I've cried. Every time. It impacts all of us in so many ways.
In the skit, I played as Jesus. And that's a really long step for me, because I used to drink heavily. For 2 years, I drank heavily. Every weekend I could. All my money went towards it. I smoked pot, I lusted after things. I did everything in this skit except for heroin. That's only because I wouldn't have been able to find a vein. And to manage to come here and get away from all that and find this great glowing light inside of me, and to know that I was forgiven. I mean, for the longest time, I just kind of forgotten about God. I thought maybe he'd forgotten about me. And then to just be brought back so willingly and so ready and be given a purpose in the church and to be called to do things, it really gives me purpose in life. Instead of just chasing the bad, finally I'm just walking along and following the good.